Bitcoin recently pushed out over $72,000. And if you notice, the media and everyone is talking about Bitcoin. That'll lead everyone talking to or about crypto. And you're starting to feel that sentiment. Now, phase one of the bull run is people are kind of in denial that the bull run is even happening. We just entered phase two of the bull run and a little bit early. Usually phase two of the bull run doesn't start till after the Bitcoin halving. But because of institutional adoption through spot Bitcoin ETFs and institutions being able to buy Bitcoin, it's pushed Bitcoin's price above its previous highs, which is usually when the media starts talking about it a whole lot. And it's fairly early. The Bitcoin halving hasn't even happened yet. And yet there is a supply shortage of Bitcoin, which is what's driving the price up, because there are way more people willing to buy at current prices than there are people willing to sell. So you're here in the crypto space, an investor, and you're thinking, I want to make millions of dollars in crypto. Well, you're in the right place, and doing the right things is going to get you to the destination you're looking for. But what are the right things? What are the right projects out there? Well, that is the key question. A lot of people right now are chasing meme coins, and they're investing in whatever meme coins that come out. And I don't like the meme coin narrative very much, because what I look for is high predictability of success. And there's lots of stories of people making money from meme coins over the past month, because usually as Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, that grows public awareness, and the uneducated public, the first thing that they roll money into is meme coins, because they can't really wrap their mind around crypto and what's going on there. But they can wrap their mind around something fun, so they throw some money at the major meme coins that they've heard of, which is Shiba Inu and Doge, and those run. Then all kinds of other meme coins pop off. And what happens is people chase the meme coin craze, and they make some gains initially, and they keep chasing that, and the gains fall off, and then they absolutely get devastated. So a lot of people that invested all the money that they made from Shiba into some other new meme coins, they end up losing it all. Kind of like a gambler at the casino that gets way up playing blackjack, but they don't have a good system. They just got kind of lucky, and they think that everything's going their way, and they keep playing, and then they lose all the gains that they made. That happens in the crypto space over and over again. And so many are playing the meme coin narrative. Another narrative that is popping off right now that is much more interesting, I think, than meme coins, but some of it doesn't yet add up, is the AI narrative, or artificial intelligence narrative in crypto. So you've seen a lot of things, including one that I'm invested in, went 100x in the past, month and a half. Synesis One has gone absolutely crazy, as the AI narrative has done tremendous. Well, how did I know that Synesis One was going to go 100x? Well, I didn't. I was investing in a project that had good long-term prospects and willing to wait out the long term. And as its narrative hit, which is AI, well, then it absolutely went crazy with the AI narrative. Another one that I'm invested in, the AI narrative, is EOS. Now, is it a good time to buy Synesis One or EOS? No, now is the point that I'm starting to take profits on. Why? Well, because they've already pumped. The major gains were buying them when they're cheap. They're no longer cheap. Now, are they very expensive? Like Synesis One has a market cap that's $80 million. Yeah, it's gone 100x already, and it's only at an $80 million market cap. So it might have plenty of gains to make from here. But the predictability on that, the higher the market cap gets, the higher the price gets, the predictability of will it continue to run starts to fall off, as well as the risk of it reversing on you starts to increase. This is what a lot of new crypto investors don't understand. They think that what has been pumping is going to continue to pump. And that's not the case. Now, might these continue to go 2x or 3x or 4x from here? They might. Are they going to do, is Synesis One going to do 100x from here? No, that would be a 10,000x overall. That almost never happens in the crypto space. So the odds of that happening are low. The 100x gains have already been made. The chance that it continues again, it might 2x from here, it might 3x, it might 5x. But you notice the difference between 100x and 5x? It's substantive, right? So what I look for is undervalued projects where the narratives haven't hit. And I'm going to share some with you. I'm a big fan of a project called Bumper Finance. Now, what they're doing could completely revolutionize decentralized finance and the way to protect your downside risk. A lot of people say, well, nobody's talking about it yet. Well, what do you think an undiscovered gem looks like? Was anyone talking about AOS 3 months ago? Was anyone talking about Synesis 1 3 months ago? No. The AI narrative was out of the narrative and people weren't much talking about it, especially smaller projects with smaller market caps like that. So Bumper, great project. Another AI project that hasn't really taken off because they don't just do AI is Definity. If you'll notice, they're one of our strategic partners. I'm really careful on who I'll do strategic partnerships with. What I want is a combination of two things. It has to be a project I really, really like, that I feel that there's good long-term value in it, that the predictability of their success is much higher than normal. And number two, the price has to be at a price that's interesting to me. In other words, it has to be an undiscovered gem. Now, are very many people talking about Definity yet? No, not yet, but I think they will. And with that, another project high in my mind is one of our other strategic partners here, OneChain. If you look at the charts and you recognize charting patterns, it's had a really nice double bottom, really good accumulation. It's a project that has some of the best bridging technology to send funds across all the different chains. And they're even doing some cool things that is going to revolutionize your ability to interact across chains without even having to think about it. OneChain is, gosh, I can't think of another company that is doing more for integrating the different chains. So at the end of the day, the end user doesn't have to think about what's happening. It becomes seamless and easy. That is adding some real value to the crypto space because, can we all agree, the crypto space is way too hard for grandma to be using it right now. And OneChain is fixing that. Now, another project I'm highly, highly interested in is Ecomi. And what's crazy about this one is the amount of FUD on this one is just been at epic levels the last 6 months. And I've gotten into lots of discussions, lots of people just saying it's never going to run. Why are they saying that? Because for the last 2 years, the price during the bear market got really, really cheap, and it hasn't meaningfully run yet. In crypto, I find a lot of people have this bias, and it's called a recency bias. So what has not been running for a long time, they assume that it won't run. That what has been happening for the last while is exactly what's going to continue to happen, and they couldn't be more wrong. This also leads them into buying high, because as things go up, they say, wow, this has been hot, this has been running. And so their recency bias tells them, well, if it's done 50x already, it will probably do another 50x from here. And they don't realize these are two of the biggest traps of why so many people do so terrible in crypto. They're just wrong on this, and they're not experienced enough to realize how wrong they are, and that they're doing things exactly in line with the 90 to 95% that have poor, mediocre, or even terrible results in crypto. I don't know about you, but I suspect you're not here for poor, mediocre, or terrible results. So don't do what the 90 to 95% of people are doing. You want to do things differently than them. So don't chase green candles, assuming that if it's gone 50x, it's going to go another 50x. That almost never happens. Secondly, don't be afraid of well-researched projects that are out of the narrative, that have a good team. They have a meaningful idea that could improve the future of the internet and just haven't pumped yet. Now, why do I like Ecomi so much? Well, the digital collectibles narrative, I think digital collectibles are far superior to physical ones. I've only done a little bit of collecting in my life. When I was much younger, I collected some sports cards. Well, I found there wasn't real scarcity, especially in baseball cards in the 1990s. They were making so many of them. Those years are still hugely abundant today, and the values haven't increased much at all on those baseball cards. Now, basketball cards and hockey cards were much more scarce back then for those, so some of those have appreciated quite nicely. However, there's a lot of fakes. There's a lot of problems with it. You have to send it off to get it graded by a company. It takes forever to get it graded. You might not even agree with their grading of the card. And then you have to keep it packaged well, and you have to ship it super protected to somewhere in the world that you're selling it and hope it makes it through customs and that it actually arrives. There's all kinds of problems there. Digital collectibles can be put on a marketplace by somebody in the US and it can sell to somebody in Asia 10 seconds later for a price that they both agree on. The funds can transfer like that. Digital collectibles are far superior to physical ones, especially as social media has increased. In the future, we'll be able to flex our digital collectibles far easier than we are able to show off our Transformers collection with our original Optimus Prime or original Megatron or whatever collectible we might have. We might have a Storm Shadow G.I. Joe, and we're super proud of it, and people can see it when they come to our house and see our office or something. Whereas social media will allow us to flex our digital collectibles much easier. Now, is that here yet? It's going that way. We saw that with Bored Ape Yacht Club, essentially a digital collectible, an NFT. And people were able to then change their Twitter profile to their Bored Ape, which was really became the use case of Bored Apes. It was just a social flex. Now, as crypto takes off, people are going to be thinking about digital collectibles. And as they do, Ecomi has positioned itself with many of the top brands in the whole digital collectible space. And I can't see why Ecomi and their token don't go absolutely crazy. Now, people often ask me, am I certain it's going to play out this way? Look, we're investors. We don't deal in certainties. We deal in probabilities. What is the probability that it goes this way? In my opinion, very high. What is the certainty? I don't know that an asteroid won't crash into the earth tomorrow and we all die. So there's no certainty. There's just probabilities. And I like the probabilities, and that's what I'm playing. Along those lines, another project that I'm really interested in is Flow. Now, unfortunately, Flow has continued increasing in pricing. It hit really low at like 40 cents or something. It's now trading around $1.25, and I wish it would stop going up. So you all keep buying it up. And I understand why you're buying it up, because Flow has some of the best digital collectibles as well. They're behind NFL All Day, NBA Top Shots, UFC Strike, and some other collectibles coming online. And so they're, in my opinion, the number 2 leader in digital collectibles. But because they have the NFL, the NBA, and the UFC license, those are major licenses that I think as people start to get digital collectibles on their mind, that those projects will run rampant, and then people will focus some of their attention on the blockchain behind it, which is the Flow blockchain. Well, what else is on my mind? Stay tuned to the channel for more on that. This was just a taste. Now, these are, in my opinion, projects that I've researched very well. I like the teams behind it. I've had interviews with many of these teams, and I've made the case for them on multiple occasions. So I like to take projects like this, where I have high probabilities, in my opinion, that when their narrative hits, these projects can go up substantially. And then I can make higher conviction moves into them. And I can move larger amounts of money into them. Now, I still diversify across many, many projects. But when I put larger amounts in them, and then it sees multiples, whether those multiples are 20x, 50x, 100x, 200x, then you start to have real wealth. And this is not how a lot of people play it in the crypto space. This is why so many people don't become substantively wealthy, even though they're in the right place to do it. They're just doing the wrong things. Most of the people that I know that have become substantively wealthy through crypto, in fact, all of them that I know that have done it, this is exactly how they do it. Thanks so much. I do have a Zero to Crypto Hero course. The link to that is below. If you're really looking to shorten 18 months off your crypto journey and becoming good at this, become better at how to analyze projects, how to analyze timing and other things, that course is right for you. We'll see y'all soon.